You're like, yeah, I stepped over it twice, but you were like, but it's
Tried to
fine.
hand it to me like,
and you
no,
walked
it's
it
all
over to
good.
FP, and he took one look at it. He's like, yeah, we're
Wing
fucked.
fell
Like,
off.
we're done here.
I never sunk any boats.
I thought you said you almost sunk a
I thought
vessel.
you guys said you sunk a
The
boat.
group did.
What happened?
Were you in the group?
I was, yeah,
So
but I
you
wasn't
sunk
on
a-
the boat from the night before. They forgot a piece, I guess, that goes over like the gas cap or something like that. So we came out in the morning. We were going to go banana boating, and the boat was half submerged. We had to get like buckets and pails and like take the water. It was stressful. It was really stressful. Yeah.
And then you almost sunk a Suburban after that?
No, that was the day before. That was loading the boat in. Went from an old loading like what do you
Boat
call it?
ramp?
Yeah, and there was sand, and we kept telling the guy it like evened out. We kept telling Warren, we're like, back it up, back it up. He's like, guys, it can't go anymore. It's gonna fucking like it's gonna level off, and it's gonna be a problem. We're like, no, you're fine, back it up. So we kept backing up, and then his wheels got lodged in the sand, and so half of his Suburban was like almost underwater, and then he had forgot to put the gas cap back on the car, so water went all throughout the fucking. It cost him like $2,000, and back then we didn't have any money, so he was pissed.
You've lived a lot of lives.
It was a wild
too.
trip. Yeah, it was a wild trip. Shout out to the Kelowna boys.
You know what
that would have been
ticket-
like 2006 maybe.
You know the funniest quote that Ticket had about you? Ticket said that he said Cutsy's been 36 years old for the past 25 years.
Yeah.
Like every
Turn
year I've
37
known
next
Joe,
week, Tick.
every year I've known Joe, he's been 36.
This
Like
guy was my manager at the Four Seasons 5 years ago, and he was 36.
That's
Yeah.
the best. What a good bit.
I thought he was 55, to be honest. That's
Yeah.
The internet says.
I've been
The
hearing
internet
55,
does
and
believe
I was
that I'm
telling him to
55.
start leaning into that and just start pretending he's 55.
Do you know how many
Like in the
DMs
video.
I got about that? They're like, "Yo, Bob, is Cutsy
I
really?"
don't know who started it. I almost want to.
Told them
I
all
almost want
yes.
to message them and be like, "Yo, what the
did.
fuck?"
Somebody else, you
You
should
get that
be on.
AARP bag.
Yeah, what is that? AARP.
That's,
Who
uh,
cares?
pension.
They're handing
I
out a
believe that's
bag.
the American Association for Retired Peoples.
Oh, is that what it's? Is that the pension? What is the?
Well, no,
Pension
it's
fund.
It's an organization.
I didn't know that was the abbreviation. But
But-
yeah, hey, listen, I'd love to.
But
collect
Cutsy, at least
pensions
you
and-
have somebody made Cutsy. Somebody made him a famous birthdays account. Do you know what famous birthdays is?
Yeah, that's
So
what they're
somebody-
talking
so
about.
You should be honored that nobody else. They're not on famous birthdays.
All
Somebody
the
made you
information
an
is
account.
wrong. They said my
said you're
birthday's in
55.
January. I'm 55 years old.
It's talking point.
Yeah,
55.
exactly.
I'm Benjamin Button.
No news is
Simple
bad
as that.
news.
Did they rank him as like famous
No,
people in the
I
world?
think he's like number 68,000.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's hey, that's a
Top
start.
69.
Coming for
That's
it.
nice.
Here, let me look it up. I'm actually gonna look
Yeah,
it up. I
please,
kinda-
go
Oh
ahead, do it.
God!
I'll
Let's
take-
not have more people going in.
Well, you're
circles.
higher ranked than anybody else here. You know?
That's a farce.
I've had a ton of people ask me how.
I mean, how
Yeah.
could you actually, realistically, like, I'm like,
Oh.
look at me and think that I'm actually.
This is right.
You're 21,519.
Read his bio.
Golf.
21,000
Oh God!
most famous person in the world.
519.
That's not bad.
Most famous on the internet. So like it's famous people, but
Oh.
also like like internet people.
Ah.
I just farted.
Did you?
Oh,
Really hope you
whoa!
smell that.
Oh wow! Look at you. Ready for this bio?
Oh yeah,
ready?
it's there.
You're gonna
It's
If you
smell
there.
can breathe
It's
it,
there.
it'll be the
lingering.
last bio you ever hear.
It's there.
Golfer and popular character from the Bob Does Sports YouTube channel. He is known for his boisterous personality and being an Italian from Canada.
Yeah.
Wait for this. Here it is. He and his friend Neil Arnett,
Oh.
parentheses, also known as Big Ticket,
Yeah.
hosts the podcast The Sportsman,
Sure.
where they debate topics
pub.
involving sports. His Joey Colgan's Instagram page has 200,000 followers. He's also been featured on the Brilliantly Dumb Show hosted by Robbie Berger. Before fame, he first met Bobby Fairways when working as the manager of a restaurant.
Something reeks
Yeah.
here.
That's me.
Let's just cut straight
That's
to the
bad.
chase.
Yo,
Something just
How do they
crawled
know
out of your
so
butt.
much about you.
I think it's the.
me,
You're the
I think
number.
It's the Gushers.
me and Perez aren't on there.
He's the number 11th ranked golfer on famous birthdays.
That's pretty impressive.
Wow.
yeah.
That's
Who the
pretty
fuck
good.
is ahead of him?
That's impressive.
Besides,
Grant Horvat, Garrett Clark,
probably yeah.
Mason,
Perez.
Busta,
Yeah,
Mad Jack,
that's right.
Jack.
Tiger Woods.
Yo,
I'm like the same age as Judy
Look,
Garland.
of all the things that you've done and listed on there, how could you not be 55 years old?
Yeah.
You can't do all those things in
sunk
36
a boat,
years.
sunk a Suburban.
Yeah. Woke up in a drunk tank.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories that like I want you guys to meet when you come to Canada. You guys need to meet. Like, well, Barzal, I think might play around with us, and he is the most talkative guy ever. Like, he will
Love that.
not like he won't talk like but like for lunch and stuff, he will tell you stories that it's just. Bob will hold it against me for a long time. I'm sure he's gonna pick his brain, but there's a lot of shit that I've seen.
Take it. Do you remember? We've never told it on the podcast, but do you remember the Joey D story? I don't know if you were at the Four Seasons at the time, where he was a manager at the restaurant, and mind you, at the Four Seasons they have security everywhere. There's really good security cameras everywhere. The guest didn't want to pay his bill, and Cutsy was trying to get him to pay his bill. So finally, the guest threw his check up in the air, and rather than Cutsy just like calling security, because then the guy was walking out the door, rather than
run.
Cutsy just, it's one button. You just call security, let them deal with it. They have cameras. They know the guest. The guest is walking out the door. Cutsy sprints after him, tackles the guy in the restaurant, and is holding the guy down until security gets there.
It was on Rodeo Drive. It was
Yeah.
on the side entrance.
But it was just like at that point, like if that happened to me outside, like I would just like shit happen all the time outside.
Not your money.
No, but I was just pissed off because the guy was a total douche, and I could have hurt somebody by throwing that thing up in the air. There was right near, like there was a live band, people dancing. The thing almost hit a couple ladies in the head, and he just tried to bolt out. He had like a $500-$600 tab. I could have probably just
Was that in your late 40s or early 50s?
51 and a half back then.
It's that dad strength.
Would you say you were a company man, or did that become about pride for you?
That's a great question.
Really good question. Wow.
I was as company
Wow.
as corporate company as they come for a while.
So you were protecting the bottom line, or you're?
I was trying to like hold this guy accountable. It was a matter of principle. That situation was a matter of principle. And this guy wasn't going to get off on my watch.
I wish.
Which he didn't. We actually I held him down. Remember Rob, the short little guy?
Yeah,
from
he wasn't gonna do nothing.
Useless. Walks up as I'm holding this guy down. He's trying to kick me, and I'm like, Rob, can you do something here? Can you get the cops? The cops finally came, and then they took him from there. They cuffed him and threw him in. And then the next day, the guy's brother called begging us to not like press charges or anything, and we made him pay his bill, and I think he left a hefty tip, which
That's a
worked
look.
out.
Cutsy's a company man, though. I mean, he absolutely is. I wish you guys could see him, what he was like at that restaurant, or even during like March Madness when I would go into the restaurant and like
Do you remember his tie game?
his tie
had a
game
good
was
tie
crazy.
game.
He
Tie game was
always wore
strong.
he always wore the lapel.
That was your calling card.
Yeah, I had the what do you call it? The pocket square, and then the lapel would come out from time to time.
He always had a lapel. He was a big lapel guy. You almost dressed better than the Mig.
See that? You
I
had,
don't
like,
think so.
The Boxing Day, like the little poppy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the Remembrance
That's
Day.
the
yeah.
little poppy.
Yeah, that's part of the
Tick used to roam those halls wearing the David Bowie
Ticket.
T-shirt and skin tight jeans.
I mean,
And then the wild boy Tick was when he got the Stan haircut. He went full bleach blonde like Eminem.
did you know that he had a
There's a
Ticket had a blonde.
he had like a Neymar like
going,
bleach
he was going
blonde.
through it, dude.
Remember like what Brooks did?
Oh yeah, like
Showed
did
up
that.
one day
like
just
the,
he
like
looked
the
like another
Ryan Lochte during the
Yeah,
Olympics.
but way less hair. That's sort
I
of
think
what happened.
Messi did it. Neymar did it. Everyone did it.
I was before all
Jet
of them,
wants
though.
to do it.
Jet, you want to do it?
Yo,
We
let
talked
me-
about
Hold on.
let me
It's
pay you.
That'd be
We talked about it.
If Jet shows up to a trip with blonde hair, run,
dude.
get out.
What's
He's
wrong with
go-
blonde hair?
I think he would pull it
No,
off.
no. I always thought because when it became like very popular, maybe a few years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago, and I just never had the balls to do it. But I would do it.
I'll never forget.
I just don't want to like. Well, I can't walk into like. Couldn't walk into like my parents'
wouldn't.
house.
You
with
would
blonde
actually-
Yeah, he would. He talked about it.
Why not?
I
Yeah, why
would
not?
love to see
It would be
But it'd be like-
unreal.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to pull it off. That's the problem. But there's only one way to
behind
pull
the
it out.
camera, so you know you could always just.
You got good hair for it.
I'm not saying anything bad. I'm saying the fact is
You're not, but you said I'm behind the camera. I'm sitting in front of 2 of them right now, though.
Yeah.
I'm saying. Oh God, here we go. This interpretation.
It's a weird
No,
way to
that's
say it
right.
would look good. Be like, well, you know,
No,
it's
I know
gonna
you
see
mean you don't care,
I
but
was
even
saying
if
if in the worst
camera-
case scenario, oftentimes he's filming, so it's not like he's gonna see it. Like it's not like it's gonna get like you're gonna get body bagged in comments.
No, but I don't even care to get body. Like I like a good comment, like body bag every once in a while.
Really?
But it's more so like I can't. I don't know.
If you don't think
I
that
don't wanna
for
see,
every
like, my-
second he's behind the camera for Bob Does Sports, the camera from Bob's phone won't be right on
yeah,
that
that's
hair.
true. I take
He
it all
will
back.
be
Yeah, you
everywhere.
You might blow up actually.
If you
it might
if
be
you
a
take
running.
it, I would. If you did it again, I would do it with you.
Oh, I can't do it again. I did my time.
Kick showed up
That's
too.
what I
It
mean,
was
I
the
fully
funniest thing.
admit.
He showed up to work one day and he's just like, "Hey guys, how's it going?" Didn't say a thing and his hair was completely blonde. I was like, "Whoa, what did you do?" He's like, "Yeah, I did a thing. I'm not sold on it yet, but it'll phase out." You said something like you were
Yeah.
like not sure about it, but you just
The HR manager came up to me and was like, "You cannot do this. This is not okay. This is not 5-star quality." And I said, "We'll see about that." And she was like, "Yeah, we will see about that." And then I never saw her again
was
until
it-
something
was it-
else happened, like
was it
4 months
Maude?
later.
it was Maud.
You and her
It's
used
cut
to.
that
Odd vibe with Maud.
To be fair, I mean, like,
No, she was
this
right.
can't happen. It's like, well, it did. Like, what do you want me to do here? Like, this is
I'll
happened.
tell you what, if I shave this, we're gonna have a whole other problem. on
Yeah,
our
yeah, yeah.
hands.
That
Well,
ship
for
sailed.
quality?
Seriously, working for the Four Seasons, it's like playing for the Yankees. They didn't want
That's right.
facial hair. They didn't want
That's
like
right.
really earrings or anything like
Your
that.
cousin too. I when I went to Peninsula, I had to shave my beard, and well, I didn't have to, but I did out of respect. And I was like clean shaven for a while, and then the beard game came back. But yeah, he was like, "You could grow a mustache." I was like, "Yeah,
When
that is not gonna happen."
when my cousin was getting ready to hire, he's like, "I'm gonna hire Cutsy." I didn't want him to do it because I know how my cousin, obviously he's so much different than me, and he's a tough cookie. He's a tough cookie. We're two different people, but I just didn't want to get in the middle of anything. Like if Cutsy got in trouble or anything like that. Like
Yeah.
I didn't want to be in the middle of it. He's
I
like
don't
my
think
best
I
friend.
really ever got in trouble.
Well,
Maybe once.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, I know you're a good employee, but like, I know how hard he was going to ride you, especially because he knew you as well. So I knew he was just going to be up in your ass. And then next thing you know, he suspended Cutsy Cutsy was at the restaurant and he was covering for the host. So Cutsy's in his suit. And Scott's looking on the security cameras, and he just sees Cutsy on an iPad going like this. He was
playing Fruit Ninja?
He was playing
Playing
Fruit
Fruit
Ninja.
Ninja?
So
Wow.
Scott wrote him up, and like, you did a good job of not. You never got me involved because I never wanted to.
It went on my files like a write up, and it was nothing more. My defense is this, okay? Like, I was like facing here, and the entrance would have been like where Perez is. People coming here. No one in the restaurant behind me or anywhere near. Hostess was on break. There was no one in the restaurant. I had the staff doing chores and tasks. So sitting there, just basically just waiting for someone to come, and I'm just picking my brain. So I went on the iPad and I started doing that, but no one could have seen. It wasn't like there were customers behind watching and stuff. I didn't know, lo and behold, there was camera right behind there. And
So you
that
don't
was-
take any responsibility for that mistake?
Well, no, I did what I did. I mean, you know.
In fairness to Cutsy, he's probably the biggest grinder. Like when it comes to working. Do you
Oh,
remember
yeah.
in the old days?
Yeah.
I say the old days, it wasn't that long ago, but we used to call him at 2 a.m. when he was closing up shop, and we were like in your apartment, and he'd be like, "Yeah, just like closing up shop." I'm like, "What's going on?" Like he had so much energy to like hear about like where we were going or what we were doing, and then he like went back. It was like 3 a.m. He was closing up
Those
the
stories
place.
of Cutsy are true. Even like when he would stay like 2-3 in the morning, and then we'd pick him up at like
7,
7
6:30,
in the morning, and then he'd put on a suit and he would go
I'd
back.
bring
From like
my
the
suit
parking
with
lot.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it on in like the Trump LA like golf course parking lot, and then you drop me off at the entrance of the hotel and then walk on into work.
I got one more Cutsy hotel story. Was the union was I was telling you this the other day. The union was striking. It's a really tough like local 11 union, and they had a managers outing. They had a managers meeting with all of us, and they were in the middle of a strike to get paid more. Remember, they'd go through the lobby saying "Si se puede, si se puede," and as the managers, they told us like, "Do not get into them. They're gonna try and get in your head. Like, just don't pay it no mind. If you have to, go send them down to HR or anything like that." So it was getting really ugly. They would come and they would like honk their horns throughout the hotel like 6 a.m. to wake up guests. It was a mess. They would march through. Guests would yell at the managers. We couldn't do anything, but they had a meeting and they're like, whatever you do not respond to them when they're marching through, when they're protesting. Do not say anything. We go back from that meeting. We go back all to wherever departments we worked at. They start marching through the kitchen and Cutsy. And Gutsy looks at the guy. He goes, "You get out of my kitchen!" And he screams at the guy. And the guy's filming Gutsy. So Gutsy calls me
The
on.
lady, no, it wasn't the guy. There was a lady started filming me, so I took my camera and I put in her face. I was like,
Oh,
"Dude,
yeah.
play that game, sweetheart."
That shows.
And then
yeah.
he called me on my office phone. He's like, "I lost it, Bob. I lost it." I was like,
Dude, we were in the middle of a rush. The kitchen was mayhem, and then my food runner's sitting there talking to this guy about. I'm like, dude, do it later. Just get through the rush. Like, people are paying for the food here.
That's like Alec Baldwin going back to TMZ. Like, you can play that game.
That's literally what I did. She pulled the phone out. I pulled the phone out back on her.
So you literally
The old
like, you're
switcheroo.
Like, yeah, you're like in the meeting. You're like, yep, got it. And so don't talk to him. Got it. And you walk downstairs.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
immediately forget everything you were just
there's
told.
times where, like, my lack of better judgment, just, and it just rational thinking doesn't
But you were
always.
very good at what you did.
Yeah, I was great
really
at what I
were.
did, but I'm saying even in general, and you guys know I'm kind of a wildcat sometimes. I don't play out the situation and like assess things and think about it before I do. I just go, and sometimes that's
It makes you very good in like panic situations. though.
yeah. I think so, but I mean sometimes it's also detrimental.
You're not a big panic guy, at least that I know.
No, I don't really panic.
Yeah, he really.
Just when someone needs to get out of his kitchen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, for work.
Oh, work comes first, man. I
But
mean,
he wasn't even panicked.
you strike
Always
on
gotta
your
hit a
own
wedge.
But that wasn't panic. That was like,
That was just let's get down to business
Yeah.
here.
But I think if someone passed out in this room right now, you would be like the first guy up. Like, it's fucking, you take care of it.
I would try to. I care about you guys.
Look, if I was ever about to get into a fight, I think Gutsy would be the first one there, and Gutsy would probably throw the punch before I threw the punch.
Yeah, I think unfortunately, like even if it was like a bigger guy, I would probably still do it just stupidly because, like, when you're in my corner, I will defend you to no avail. Like, and all of you guys are in my corner, so I think to the point like I would do something and I wouldn't think about it, and then I'd look and be like, oh, I'm gonna get my ass kicked right now. But yeah, you mess with any of these guys.
I believe it. I know it's true.
It's true.
Let's talk a little Bob Does Sports here. We filmed with Paige Sporanic. What we mentioned when you said you farted, because it sounded like a fart, but really your back kind of broke when Perez had been on my couch for a week straight, and he was sick. We had talked about it before. We had to cancel Barcelona. The kid was really, really hurting, but he hadn't done anything for like 6 days just on the couch. And we go to film with Paige, and Perez goes to hit his first tee shot, and you just hear like a crack. Like you just hear like it was almost like your whole body just like gave out.
Yeah.
It kind of sounded like a fart.
It was not. I
Yeah.
admit to it. No, I think I was just a little stiff, and I tried to get into a driver, and I loosened a couple things up. So I think I let out an audible, like,
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, it kind of loosened everybody up though. It made it kind of funny, like, and everybody was like, "All right."
Oh, it's funny.
yeah, whatever it takes.
She obviously, like, I knew she's really big. Like, she's kind of in a way like one of the first, like, I guess you could say, golf influencers that like really got things going. She's been around for a bit, like in the game. I knew people would be really excited about us filming with her. I didn't know to that degree just how incredible. Like, again, I know she's huge, and I was really excited for it. I didn't realize how excited the people would be, and we're not. I mean, we haven't even released it yet, but I think it's gonna do.
Yeah, well,
Big.
me too. You put up that post, and it went crazy.
Nuts.
I saw a video on YouTube of a different, those people that talk about, like, the reporters, like the YouTube. Somebody new I'd never seen an hour after the video came out was talking about Bob Does Sports filming with Paige Sporanic and her being the fourth, because you left a comment that she's our new fourth.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, we found a fourth.
We found our fourth. We got 2 videos with her. But the first video was I mean, both videos are great.
Control, man.
The first video was competitive, and are you good?
Yeah, take a second.
The first video was, and even off the gate, like off the jump, the first hole was pretty electric, so it set everything up, and I think that one's gonna do some major numbers. You okay?
Guys, something else.
Yeah,
What's going on?
I'm curious what it is that.
Giggles McGee over here.
No, it was stop, because what are you doing back there?
He's like, be professional. is what he said. You don't even gotta apologize.
She's very witty too. Like I think she she had said that she had seen
He's
All right.
looking at the camera.
she had said that she had seen a lot of ours.
what the fuck, dude?
The hell's going on here?
Hell, dude.
Yeah, but she really did. She had an unbelievable personality. She understood us. I think she had seen videos before. Quick and very witty.
I was shocked to hear that when I asked you that she hadn't really filmed with anybody else before, because I would have figured for sure someone would have hit her up to do something, or she's a college golfer too, which by the way she's a good golfer. Like she can strike the ball extremely well, much better than me, and I'm shocked that she hadn't done anything before with anyone from on my understanding, anyways. But yeah, it was those collabs are the best, man.
Yeah,
Those
one video,
Did you
yeah.
do with Foreplay?
Years ago, yeah.
But that's really. I mean, I said to her why because I thought the same thing. I honestly think some people just think that they don't have a shot. I mean, to be honest, I didn't think we really had a shot to get her on. We sent her a DM, and then like a few months later, she had responded to it. But I think some people just think, hey, she's not going to see the DM, which is fair. And B, that there just might not be a shot. I know we didn't think we had a shot.
Bob Does Sports Instagram account holds some weight.
Yeah, it does.
Some say a lot of weight.
Yeah, some weight.
1 ton of weight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We got to try and get the blue check on that thing.
Yeah. How do you? You know that's the most most inexact science, and the problem with that is that everybody thinks they have an answer for that. To get the blue check, everybody knows.
Everyone's
a
an
guy
expert.
who knows a guy who knows Zuckerberg,
But
nobody nobody knows him.
But
and he doesn't even get to decide.
it changed once they changed from the Twitter thing to like Twitter started where you could pay for it,
Right.
then Instagram did it, and then it lost its
Well, they're not going to give it anymore to anybody unless they pay for it, unless you're a super
right,
celebrity.
right,
They're
right.
not-
Fellas, how do we feel about doing our Stratosphere Elevated Moment of the Week? By the ones, the only over at Stratosphere. What did you see of the week that you liked? One of your top moments of the week. I'll go ahead and start
Go
since
last,
I mean, I'm already kind of giggling about it. And Ticket, I'm sorry, Perez. I'm sorry. When we were filming with Paige, Ticket just does some quirky things, and like Ticket just does some like wild, a lot of crazy things seem to happen to Ticket. And Ticket was in the front with his cart. Perez puts the drone up front. You probably wonder why this is the elevated moment, but it was just so fucking funny because it wasn't my drone. Perez had the drone parked on the cart path, and Ticket just gets into his car, like says whatever he says. Happy-go-lucky, goes into his car and just revs on the gas and just runs over this drone with no regard, and he hits it on the front tire, and then he hits it on the second tire, and you just hear boom, boom, and I turn, and Paige is looking at it, and Paige starts cracking up, and I just look at the drone, and then Ticket looks down, and it was so, I mean, I think you said it's like $185 with the insurance, so like, I personally, I would pay $185 to get the laugh that we got out of that, because the way he just... And like Perez said, it didn't matter what was in front of him. He had no regard for that drone whatsoever.
It was a good thing it wasn't like a small child.
Right.
He wasn't, at no point was he like looking at what was ahead of him. I usually land it around his cart because, you know, he's got an extra spot. He picks it up and he puts it in, which is very nice of you. It's just, it didn't, we weren't in sync, it seems. And,
Well, at no point do you put a small child in the middle of the road. That's for one.
small child can crawl.
That's true.
that
That's
point.
true. I mean, listen, I apologized a million times.
Yeah.
I felt so
You didn't mean to
shitty.
do it.
But the
You didn't
thing
want to
was,
do it.
like, so I asked Bob, I was like, so we just finished one video, we're rolling into the next one. We do 9 and 9. So we just finished 9, we were going to 10 to start our next video. And I asked Bob, I was like, yo, we stop at the clubhouse because sometimes we'll get lunch, we'll get a water or some drinks or something. And I go, Bob, we stopping at the clubhouse? He's like, I think we just keep it rolling. So I hopped in my cart and I was like, let's fucking keep it rolling, dude. And I just fucking hit on the
Probably like,
gas.
he's probably turned around talking, we're going to keep it rolling. He's driving, looking at it.
The best
Yeah.
thing is too, like, if Ticket like just started laughing about it, I don't think I would have found it as funny. But he felt so bad and was so embarrassed that it made it for me 20 times funnier. And then Ticket looked at me, and Ticket knew that he just wasn't going to hear the end of that. Like that was just going to be like a
The
running
thing
thing.
too was with this crew, like I knew eventually that drone, like the second we started using that thing, it probably was here before I was even here. But the second I was around that thing, I was like, this crew, someone's gonna fuck that thing up. Something's gonna happen. We already threw another guy's drone into a tree. I was like, something's gonna happen. Something, and I just needed it not to be me. So every time we were done with a video, I was like, another day, the drone still lives. And the fact that it was me was what fucking killed me.
You
dude.
picked it up though. You picked it up. I didn't
That
see.
was
I was,
okay.
Yeah.
I was
another
way
part.
behind, and you picked it up, and
it's
F was
fine.
like, what? You're like, oh, it's totally. You're like, yeah, I stepped over it twice, but you were like, but it's
Tried to
fine.
hand it to me like,
and you
no,
walked
it's
it
all
over to
good.
FP, and he took one look at it. He's like, yeah, we're fine.
fell
Like,
off.
we're done here.
That was the
the wing fell off. I was like, somebody ordered a wing.
That was my biggest mistake because when I ran over it, I was like, "Fuck!" But then I picked it up and I was like, "Oh, you know what? It was still like like the way the wings fold in. Like they folded back out. I was like, oh shit, it's okay." I gave it to you for 1 second, like it is absolutely not okay. It is
it's
toast, dude.
Yeah.
Did
These
it?
things are perfectly like weighted and
Right, not anymore.
any
but it was.
little adjustment and it just
Was
doesn't work.
Tick? Was it more? Because like I feel like for me it definitely would be. Was it more embarrassing because it was in front of Paige too? That like Paige, like yeah, it had to be a lot harder because Paige was right there and like, did that make it worse?
It made it worse that you had an audience to do it in front of outside of us.
Yeah.
I actually
there was
think
something
it
about her
saved
that
you a little bit because if she had not been there, I think you would have gotten roasted worse.
Correct. Oh, you think I would have gotten roasted worse if she
No,
wasn't
I
there?
don't know about
I
that,
think
Joe.
Bob loved finding. He looked at her and saw her laughing
That's
first,
right. That's right.
and was like,
sick
"This
guy.
is gonna
Yeah,
be great."
that's correct. I was telling the Ticket though, because it was a lot for like the amount that it just even on the next holes, like you'd be on the green and somebody would say something. I was telling the Ticket though, and the way like this crew is, something's gonna happen. It's like when people get canceled and the world's on them for like 2 days, and then the next person gets canceled. Same thing happens with us. Like the next person's gonna do some stupid shit
It's like Cutsy
in a
at the
day.
garage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It lasts 2 days. You think your life's over and you're never gonna stop, and then somebody else like shits their pants, and then like it's on them. You know what I mean? Like, so you just gotta wait it out, and then you're done. Then you're in the
It
clear.
needed to be Bob. It needs to be Bob. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everything will
Come.
cancel
I
right
mean,
out.
yeah. There's gonna be.
I'm sure it'll be me next, Tick.
You did a really good job, Jet, too, of like not playing into Bob at all.
'cause I
because
felt-
you felt because you know you've been on the other, maybe not as bad.
No,
but
first
you
of all, it
felt
could have.
that.
Yeah, it could have been me. But
Yeah.
also, I was like, oh, he ran over the drone. Hilarious. Next hole. Like I didn't need to like.
Let's keep it
you know,
moving.
yeah, but that's
Well,
you
yeah,
know,
even
that's how
if
it
it's a
goes.
small thing.
Never cared
Remember,
about that drone.
remember the Jet when he the Jet when we were in Scottsdale and he was all pissed off and he tried to send a message that he was pissed off.
What did I do? I don't even remember this. Oh no, this is not gonna be
Storm
good.
up the stairs.
Oh,
Dude,
that's
He
bullshit.
He almost went down. He almost took a tumble.
that was the best.
He almost took a
I will.
big time.
I will go.
Tumbling, stumbling jet.
See, there you go. Now you're off the hook for something that happened 3 months ago. But I will go to the grave.
He was clod hopping up those
Listen,
stairs.
I was
Me to
pissed.
know that he.
I was pissed, but it didn't help that I tripped.
Well, that's
walking
what
towards there. So I tripped. So you started laughing.
Sounded
Listen,
like a
listen.
bear was going up the stairs. It was like bang, bang, and then bam, 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 bam.
They were. I mean, I'm a. Hold on. Those were bad. Those were bad stairs. Like I was running up the
Bob
stairs.
was like, Yaman, did you fall? He's like, fuck you!
That did not happen.
Yeah, he's
No, it didn't.
Bob, you're a fucking clown.
I probably said that.
He's like, you're a fucking clown!
But you came up after and you said that. You just came up after and you said that. They were bad stairs. I was pissed. They were bad stairs, and I think anybody going up those stairs would have sounded like they were in a bad mood. Was I in a bad mood? Yes.
But you can tell me that you weren't trying to send a message with those last few stairs.
Not with the steps. No,
You
I'm not like.
gave it an
no, I don't need to
actual
send a message via my footsteps. Like I would have told you. They were bad stairs, and I'm a fat guy, so it sounded like I was angry. Now, did you guys hear about Tickets riding over the drone the other day? Yeah. That shit was crazy.
What a crew, man.
So that's your elevated moment, eh?
Oh, yeah. Let's go to you, Joey Day.
Mine's not gonna be nearly as funny. I think elevated moment for me is being back in New York City, and just like the food scene there, like is just so good. First day, just me, just walking out. I ran into Jet. We went to that little bagel spot, and just like walking through the delis. I went to Carbone one night, which was awesome. The food scene there is just next level. I like being there. I don't know if I could live there, like short term. It was really awesome. I always like being there. And then the tournament was awesome. And seeing Bear Down and all those guys, I think that we got to do more trips to that area.
We
got a lot of love and like a lot of support in that, Jersey, New York area. And like they're down to earth, like good, fun, like just cool guys who I enjoy hanging out with, whether it's Bear Down's friends or just anyone who was there. The 5-iron thing was super cool. That was really, really neat. I thought it was an awesome trip. It was action packed for sure, and really like short span of time, but super fun and definitely worth it for us going out there again. Doing the tournament there was super cool.
You know what was hysterical with Joe's the first morning in New York? Joe, I think you said something. Joe's story, like he made you to believe like that he like toured all of New York in the morning. Like he went through the park, like he went to the Empire State Building, and like he goes to these different delis, and like we walked outside of our hotel for the first time, and we took a left, and the bagel joint that Joe went to was right next to her.
He's like walking around. He's like found this unbelievable bagel place. Like place is like so good. I love being in New York and the classic bagel. And I get out of the hotel and I look left, and it's literally the door next door to our hotel is this bagel place. I was like, your story made it seem like you've been on the subway this morning. You've been to each side of the Central Park, and you stumbled upon this
sample of
place.
pastrami from
you
Pat's
read
Deli.
something on
Perception is reality.
You just went next door and got a bagel.
It was a good bagel too.
Yeah, it was. It actually was. It was bagels.
Wild.
We went there a few times.
We went there a couple times. Yeah.
He was like the first day. I had seen him for 5 minutes that morning. He's like, yo, I can really get used to this New York, like hustle bustle the city. I was like, yeah, after a couple months, it gets a little old.
Dude, you should give. You put a GoPro on Joe, and you do just Joe walking to work, like Joe taking the subway to work every day. That would be the most entertaining content. I would tune in every single day.
Have you ever taken the subway?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I could see that.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, he would be barreling.
Well, the
feel like-
subway's on a summer day. If he would get on a sticky subway, a one train headed uptown, it would be one of the funniest things you
Oh,
get.
if
I
you're
feel like
right.
you get into like little
Fights with
Off
the
little
people,
skirmishes,
the people
little
that
disagreements.
are walking by, like
Yeah.
asking for money, be like, "Look at this guy! Like, what is he doing? Like, we're just trying to get home." Like, it would be very fun.
giving money to this guy, Bob.
get on the train with me and get a job.
Yeah. All right, Perez, what do you got?
My elevated moment of the few weeks, I guess, is going home for a day. And
Damn, dude.
celebrating my wedding anniversary with my beautiful wife.
Clap it up for the wedding anniversary, Miss Doobie. Shout out, Miss Doobie.
AC.
Yeah, feel like I'm just never there, and it was nice to get home, and
Going
this
home
is,
now though after tonight.
fly home tomorrow for a bit.
He says he's going home till Al Leiter does an invitational and invites him in Louisiana, and he decides
He'll
he
go.
can't. He'll go.
Him, yeah.
Shreveport.
I
Andy
said to him
Pettit.
yesterday, I said, you got to feel good at least that, after this now you got a break. He's like, I don't have a break. I was like, what do you have? He's like, got a member guest this weekend.
It's true.
Got
Yeah,
an in-laws trip.
I fly home
boat
tomorrow.
weekend. I was
This
like,
guy, man.
I got one day, and then I.
say no.
He was on the phone with his wife yesterday on the car ride home, and his ears were popping from the plane, so he was looking into taking a train home to Virginia. And she goes, "Serious?" She's like,
I looked into it.
She's like, Nick. She's like, that's gonna take you 3 to 4 days. He's like, baby, I got nothing but time. He's like,
And she's like, her argument for that wasn't like, well, like, don't, like, you need to get home, like, you've been away to come see me. She's like, no, you don't. You have a member guest this weekend. I was
Yeah.
like, that's a great point, babe. Exactly right.
yeah. And while he's doing that, he's sipping on a big gulp Slurpee from 7-Eleven, dude.
Makes my throat feel better, dude.
Yeah.
It's medical.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get it.
It's healthy.
Yeah. All right. Hey, a little drum roll here, please.
I got it.
Stratosphere, elevated
Okay, so
moment. The Jets.
We haven't been together for a little bit. Like obviously we were in Virginia, so I'm going back to Virginia. We did a challenge in Virginia that involved people drinking a little bit and having a good time. And I think it was about the 8th hole. Like we were all having a blast, and Joey Kolkatz hit a shot, and everybody kind of said it was a bad shot. They're like, what is this? They were like, oh, that's
used to that.
Cutsy just missing a shot. And Cutsy took exception to the fact that people did not like his shot. So
it
much
was
so
middle
that
of
he
the green.
started calling Perez Leland. And he goes, my shot freed up Leland. I freed up Leland. And then he proceeded to go into some song and dance. And he puts his club up over his head, and we can play the clip, and he goes, I'm just going to take it down. And Leland's going to throw it. And then he like humps, and he goes,
Wild.
and I remember while I was swimming, I was like, this is gold. Like, this is going to be the greatest clip of all time. It was one of the funniest moments I think we've had, like, on a trip. And I was honestly in awe and just laughing my ass off. And I was like, that was a special moment for me.
Still the same dots. Sweepers, dude.
What's wrong
All right,
with that?
that's fine. Middle of the green.
Blame it on him. It's in the middle of the green. It frees him up. It frees Leland. It frees up Leland. What's wrong with that? Leland's gonna put a dart party out. He's just gonna take it down, and he's just gonna throw himself a little dart.
Nicole said to me after she watched, she said, what the hell were you doing? I was like, I don't know, babe. I was just absolutely hammered. But I remember thinking at the time, like, Perez was playing great, and I was just, like, trying to, like, get him amped up, and I was just, I don't know.
Dude,
That was,
A little lost in the sauce.
yeah.
He's already got this like crazy vocabulary, but when he gets drunk, it gets like ramped up even more, and like the shit that comes out of his mouth is just like is wild. One of the best, we were saying it today, one of the best Bob Does Sports moment is the 18 beer challenge where he does the stick it to the juice speech. Like
the boys
things, dude, things come out of his mouth that like it's not like you have to be so drunk and then also have like another gear of vocabulary. Like I don't know how he
Perez's vocabulary is as good
You
as mine,
almost
if not
become
better.
a better
Yeah, his is-
speaker when you're
his-
hammered. You become an orator.
Well,
when
he
you're hammered.
uses big words.
Orator is like a speaker.
About half of the time, they're correct.
right.
Yeah, but he pulls out great words, and it's hit and miss of whether it's used properly. But he uses them.
He said he was smart with books the other day instead of
Yeah.
book smart.
Yeah. You know, like smart with books.
Yeah, that's tough.
By
Yeah.
the way, with Busta Jack coming out soon. Good guys.
Yeah.
Nice.
Busta Jack as well. They're awesome. They're so much fun to film with. Yeah, I mean the Breezy Invitational was unbelievable. I said to even the Doing Things team who sets it all up, I mean, we don't mind doing those. They can do those whenever. Like, yeah, you know, you're tired by the end of it, but like they put everything on a platter to us where we just show up, have our stuff, and it's just so much fun. The fans that come and show up are just a blast, and it's so much fun to see them having so much fun.
Yeah, and each one gets better. We got 2 more this year, but it's just like it's fun, and the people who come to it are hyped up and excited, and always like jacked up and ready to go.
Like for me, having all my high school friends growing up in Jersey, like they had never like seen, you know, they know what's going on with Bob to Sports and all, but like they've never seen that, or they didn't really know what it was like for me to have them. You had, you know, your friends even being in New York, even them coming to Five Iron and stuff like that. Benny Schicker and the Schickers came by. Like, yeah, I mean that's what was really funny when we went to the Doing Things office, and like you said, Joe, it was interesting to see their office and like all the stuff behind the scenes and stuff like that. They had the TVs and they were playing Bob the Sports episodes, and like it's an office setting in Manhattan, and like we were in meetings in the back, but we could see the TVs out in front of the whole office, and like during some of the episodes, like beer challenge episodes, Fireball, like all these episodes, the Perez Wake Up, like you're
tough.
watching some of these scenes for the whole office, and like I'm looking on the side, I'm like, oh shit, like here comes this, or like it's bizarre that they're working and like doing that type of
Look
stuff.
over and I see myself waking up for the Homa match, and I'm like,
You know what's hilarious about the Breezies to me is that when you're at the Breezy Invitational, it's like being at a real golf tournament in the sense of there's like it's like being at Augusta and you'll hear a roar on 12 while you're on like 15, and it's like NBA free agency where like there's like a report, you're like Cutsy's on 18 doing push-ups
you're
with this
right,
guy,
you're right.
and then you get a video in the group of you on 9, and then something comes from you, and then Cutsy's in a Congo line. You're just like trying to keep up with everything going on the course. We need like a scoreboard with like video highlights going up from the different holes.
Chris Hansen.
Because there,
Just needs to run like Sunday ticket
Chris
on
Hansen,
Breezy, like things going on. Oh, let's go over here to Miami,
wait,
where Cutsy is fired us into a shack.
FB. I believe you're thinking of Scott Hansen. Chris Hansen would be Dateline NBC.
Go take a seat. Go ahead, why don't you go ahead and take a seat? That's tough.
Take a few plays off.
That's tough.
That's tough. Yeah, that is true though. You get the updates, or like the Doing Things team comes over to you because they like stop by different holes and like they show me the video of Cutsy in the Congo line and all that stuff. It's so great. So yeah, I mean, I know we're gonna be coming out with a lot more Breezy Invitationals. Canada is next on the books for the trip, Tripwise, which should be a blast. The land of Cutsy, which is just gonna be terrific.
Great white north.
Yeah,
You guys
that,
are gonna love it.
yeah, I think so. I mean, we're going to
It just went.
Are we, is it true we're going to the DeMar?
Yeah, my mom called me 2 days ago. I was on the phone with her, and she goes, "So, barbecue? I think. Tell me what day. I need to know. I think we do a barbecue in the back. 'Cause we've got like a back patio thing." And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "I gotta ask you one question." I was like, "Okay." She goes, "What does Perez eat?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, I don't." She's like, "Can he do chicken?" I'm like, "I don't think he does chicken." She's like, "What do you mean he doesn't do chicken?" I'm like, "He does chicken strips, Ma. He doesn't do chicken. Like, not grilled chicken." She's like, "Does he do steak?" I'm like, "He's not a steak guy." She's like, "All right, does he do ribs?" I'm like, "He might do ribs, honestly." I'm like, "Play it safe and just do burgers." So, like, she was like, she's already prepping up to, like
ribs.
do something. Like, if you like ribs, I will tell her she does a great baby back rib. Not like myself, which I got banged.
She takes off the membrane, you think?
Huh?
She takes the membrane off?
She does it all, yeah. I haven't had to worry about that. But yeah, no, I think it'll be really cool. You guys meet my parents and my brother might come by.
I can't wait.
Brother Anth. And then, then going to Whistler is like, I mean, Tika, you can talk about it briefly. It's like the nicest drive you'll ever go from Vancouver to Whistler. It's called the Sea to Sky Highway. It's gorgeous. And then Whistler's just like this like paradise little town, which is nestled in the woods, and it's kind of like your mountain house, but it's like more populated in the city. Like there's a whole village, and there's like bars we could go to at night, and good restaurants, and there's tons of stuff happening. And then the courses are gorgeous too. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really, really excited. And I think the coolest thing was going to Virginia was you kind of got a little insight on FP and like kind of where he grew up and like what he's about and what his hometown's like and what he does. So like for you guys never being to Canada, I think it'll be kind of like Bob talks about Canada like it's like foreign, like alienated lands. It's like, it's not that different. So I think for him to actually go there and see, it'll be like, okay, I get it. This is what Canada's like. Not
Is
that
there a
I'm
bunch of yous running around?
Like a
No, I'm not really the typical.
I look forward to as great as like the courses will be and stuff. That dinner at the DeMars, that I'm gonna really soak that in. And by the way, I'm gonna have a lot of questions for them, and I look forward to that. I really
My
do.
mom is a natural. Like if you bring somebody like to film, my mom's a natural. My dad will hide from the camera. My dad is the funniest guy, but he's old school. He don't like cameras at all. So I'll have to like kind of jazz him up before and be like, "Don't worry, Dad. It's just for us or whatever." But yeah, it'll be a scene, man.
What's good is after your parents have us for dinner, we're going to Chicago and we're gonna head on over to the Schicker residence.
Wow.
We're gonna have us over for
Good luck with that. I will say this about Canada. I'm starting to have some passport concerns.
Yeah, you got it.
Wow, you gotta lock that down.
Yeah,
I locked
you
it
really
down.
do.
I sent
gotta
it
lock
in.
that
No,
down.
I sent it in weeks ago, expedited. They took the money, everything. I don't. How much do I trust the U.S.
You been banged?
passport? What?
You think they banged you?
I think they might proceed to bang me. Yeah, like I don't know. I have concerns. Is all I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, Ticket, start warming up that other
This
arm.
is his favorite bit. Every month
Yeah.
he's got a new
Yeah,
bit.
I'll tell you why,
He's
though.
loving the passport bit.
Because it's not a bit in the sense of like I'm actually concerned, but I've turned it into a bit to relax myself. But I ain't going because that passport ain't coming. Like I'm concerned.
You think they're gonna look into some things and maybe?
No, I think that
You have some, like,
I think
links in
I
your
think
past?
that the summer is a busy time, so I think it might be backed up a little bit. Is all. Now I did write. This is for Bob Does Sports, so it's super important. So it depends who. It depends who.
What a
like
dick,
if
dude.
Yeah. Well, good news. They'll give you.
I didn't actually write that.
They'll give you they'll give you an extra card.
I didn't write
give you an
that.
extra-
Anyways, I think they're very. Jeez.
Are you serious?
I have my own concerns about it, so I think it's very busy. But Who knows? Maybe. I mean,
Jesus Christ, dude.
what happened? He farted.
Another stinger.
Yeah, well,
That's a stinger.
because I really am looking forward. Like, I really want to go.
That's the
I'm
little
done.
Debbie
We're just ripping
right
ass
there.
out here. This guy, what did you even
That's
eat?
the hostess bun.
When he stopped for gas, I got some Gushers and some little glazed donuts.
Nice. Gushers are underrated, by the way.
Gushers
He
are
loves
good.
anything Little Debbie. He loves that. He loves
Yeah,
that.
I do. I really
If you're,
do.
if you're a snack cake,
Hey,
he's
Little
on your
Debbie,
ass.
if you're looking for a little
I love Little
sponsor.
Debbie, man. Everything she does turns to gold.
He likes what are the Swiss
Or
rolls?
farts.
You like the Swiss
I
rolls?
like coffee cakes. I like powdered donuts. I like honey buns. I like pecan spin wheels. I like fucking coffee cakes. All right, donut sticks. Oatmeal cream pies. Double stuffed oatmeal cream pies. Yeah, I mean, look. If she's slanging, I'm buying, dude.
You're looking at the new face of Little Debbie.
I'm buying.
Oh God, dude.
Look at the new face of Little Debbie right there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I wonder how Little Debbie stays so little. She must not be getting high on her own supply.
Oh man.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, boys. Yeah. I mean, look, terrific trip. Boys, that does it. Another edition of the Bob Does Sports Podcast. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. A lot to come. We look forward to it. We'll see you next time. Bob Does Sports. Clap it up.
All right.
It's a loud fucking clap.